from the start, leading you always straight from the heart. We built to make your dreams come true. What we do is all for you. Cebu Landmasters, we build with you in mind. Cebu Landmasters, we can live the better life. We're at the heart of everything we do with you. Cebu Landmasters, we build with you in mind. Once nights reach you face to face. Welcome hands guide you at every stage. We want to see your dreams come true. What we do is all for you. Cebu Landmasters, we build with you in mind. Cebu Landmasters, we can live the better life. We're at the heart of everything we do with you. Cebu Landmasters, we build with you in mind. At the heart of everything we do with you. Cebu Landmasters, we build with you in mind.
So everybody are listening to you.
So that's how we are coping, basically to address the concerns of not spreading this virus, because this is a very delicate virus that we are seeing, and making sure that we are helping people in the process, both from our own people and also those from within the communities that we are in. We're actively touching base with different COVID centers that have been set up. Even in Cebu City, we were involved in setting up a new one there in the North Reclamation area. And at the same time, we help out in our new Sacred Heart Mango Bayanihan Center. No? This is a school before of Sacred Heart that was converted maybe temporarily into such a center. So all the help we could extend, because to us that's the most vital aspect to face right now. No? Of course, we're not forgetting the business side. That's why we are still managing our way in terms of doing construction whenever they are allowable, no? Because there are contractors who have based their workers just there on the site, and there are certain cities that we operate in that would allow continued works for so long as we have a special business permit to do so. So in a way, I would say that we have about 50 to 60% of our workforce still there on our sites, working and still making sure that we get to our targets, but very mindful that we extend the safety nets, no? in health, hygiene, and sanitation, that none of these people are infected. Or there are no signs, even if they are asymptomatic, we make sure that we have medical teams there on the ground. And to these people, they also really need the income. And even to our contractors and our trade contractors and suppliers, we continue to receive orders when they can be delivered, and continue to pay them as they fall due. And it keeps the ball rolling as far as the construction of our projects are concerned. On the selling side, and thanks to our new technology, information and communication technology, the online, the the things that we are really doing, and we still continue to connect to the brokers, to the agents, no, to the buyers personally. If there are concerns that they have, we're always here. If there are new sales that that they have already identified, we are always here to serve. So we want to make sure that we are prepared to address all of these issues, and we're just happy that there are a new wave of having to communicate, and we're exactly doing that.
Wow. Very good to hear that. Okay. But Maros,
Yeah, operation-wise, our company is prepared to work online. So all the departments have their own internet capabilities. So the different departments are working Monday to Friday, and as usual, and but at home. So what happens is accounting, our BD team, business development team, our architects, they're all working at home at this time from Monday to Friday. So even our sales team, your partners, are just waiting for you. So we are here, we are open, and we're working. But of course, considering that health is our main concern now.
yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Sir Joe and Mama Rose. It's very, ano to, it gives us more confidence to really work on our sales for CLI because of your confirmation that CLI is very much ready for this shift. Um, of course, of making sales in real estate. Now, in your own insights, boss, or outlook, how is COVID-19 changing the way we are doing real estate business?
Well, very much so. We have now transformed ourselves into a company that should be able to connect in whatever way, no. And this medium that we are having, and really being enhanced in the platform of information and communication technology, is really the way to go. And we have learned this, and for a lot of people, this must have been taken for granted, but we realize this will be the new normal from here on. Even for granting that we are in normal times, this avenue of telecommunication, the online marketing, this is really the future platform. Of course, it will not replace the face-to-face interfacing of buyers and sellers and brokers, but it will have its continuing effect to be able to service them outside of the working environment, because the effectivity now of having face-to-face contact with each other can actually be enhanced. You can do it at home, even during evenings outside of office hours, to make some follow-through. You don't even have to go there personally, or even make calls. No, these are things that you can easily now communicate and do even actual documentation online, no, by by coming up with documents and properly signed and being able to scan it and then being able to have it there. And these are materials and documents that could be acceptable to the bank. And later on, if it is required that there will be actual signatures to be had, but that can always follow. So these are the major changes that we're really seeing now, and that becomes the new normal that we are appreciating. And there are more of this that will become a vehicle really of the future.
Correct. Yeah. So I like this setup, Boss Joe. So every time you wake up, you update us.
Yes. Boston, even from design point of view, we may also have to adapt to certain adjustments, no?
Correct.
Conceptually, while we are now talking about low density development, we also think that amenities can now be more forward looking. No, we may have to make sure that we have capabilities of addressing medical needs, for example. No, to consider having a clinic in all our developments is continuing to be last consideration already. Open spaces is also a norm to look at for any major development. May it be horizontal, and this thing about youth development concept. I think there is no better time to enhance on it than now, because you see the advantages of just being in an area where from your office you can go straight to your home or to your condo unit, and then going down to eat in a restaurant or do a little shopping. So this will overwhelm really on what we can expect in future designs that will enhance really how a community will live more efficiently. And we also have to be mindful that there will be some changes in our lifestyle, that we now have to always be careful on what lies ahead. Even the way we have to cover ourselves is important, because even if this thing normalizes, it becomes norm really for everybody to be very conscious about one's health, and that's very important for
Yeah. So we are so excited because you are now creating and you are already conceptualizing last 5 years ago the live, work, and play concept where it's everything is in proximity. So as you can see, Cebu Landmaster, it's just walking distance to all malls, walking distance to grocery, to everything. Okay, just like your Casamira in Labangon, the project in Davao, project in Cagayan, project in Cebu, and we're so happy that you already foresee what's happening already, Boss Joe.
right. I think the thing that will continue to be very important for us in the industry is to realize that uh, homes are becoming more and more valuable, and the importance of family and home life can really be observed now. How enriching it is, and that there's a place for you to go home and then call this your own, and that becomes really your comfort. You know, so this is the thing that we have always believed It's a Filipino home concept. It's a Cebu Landmasters concept. And it actually just blends or addresses that backlog situation that we're really having. And this is the kind of market that we are supposed to look at very seriously. No, we're talking still of about 4 to 5 million households still to be filled up. And
Correct.
what more convince them now that we have seen for ourselves how valuable to have something of your own, no? And it's not going to be in a mixed environment where you would not know who your neighbors are or whomever will be coming along. It will be a gated community that really is being supported by a strong property management group. No? The property management group will now have to look at the concerns of everybody, not just on their daily needs, but even on their health situation. No? And this is the way it's shaping out, the way we look at, and I'm sure many developers are looking at that direction.
Correct. In fact, they just understand today how important is properties and to have a home. And that's the reason we have seen an increase of inquiry today that they will be buying some good properties that they can also live by. Because, as you can see, so many people now are in quarantine, and the issue is they cannot move around. So some wants to have a bigger house in the future, okay? Because the Philippines have a very hot setting, very hot, okay, meaning our climate here is not that good. So they're planning to move to a bigger space, okay? So and they already understand how valuable is condominium now. So they can roam around their gyms, their swimming pool, and just have a simple house, okay? So basically, we can address this with Cebu Landmaster. I know you have bigger plans, and I know that you already have analyzed the situation today, and we are so excited about that. Okay, so but still, we have so many questions for you. So Saisa, can we please move forward while you're collecting all those questions?
Yes, Boston. Thank you so much for that. Now, we will be pausing for a 3-minute break. Just a washroom break, or you can grab some snacks while we wait for the 3 minutes, and we will be right back.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ian. Want to live extraordinarily? It may seem difficult.
Hi, I'm Ian.
It's possible. Let me show you. First, they give you
Cebu
hands-on service.
Landmasters. It's
From their sales
possible.
and customer
Let me show
care
you.
team, prior and
First,
during
they give you
turnover,
hands-on
to their
service.
in-house
From
property
their sales
management team when you've settled in. Plus, their amenities are carefully planned and well developed, like a clubhouse with pool, a gym, and even a chapel. You can choose from a wide range of developments: residential, offices, mixed use, townships, and even hotels. Everything for the lifestyle you want. With over 50 developments in the best locations, Cebu Landmasters is now the leading local housing developer in key Vismin cities. So you see, you can live extraordinarily when your real estate developer goes to great lengths for you. Live extraordinarily with Cebu Landmasters.
Searching for your ideal home? It's all easy now with Filipino Homes. Think of all that you can do inside and out. Search properties all over the country, whether it's for sale, for rent, or foreclosure. You can adjust the lot and the floor area range for your liking, and the price range that fits in your budget. Just click the property that you like and contact the agent. Search, adjust, talk. Only with Filipino Homes.
You dream of a lifetime, and now is the right time with Filipino Homes. Filipino Homes, you truly deserve it, and you finally made it a home of your own here at Filipino Homes. At Filipino Homes, we're here to serve you. At Filipino Homes, we'll make your dream come true. For you, we make it easy. Together on this journey, only the very best for you. That's our passion. We make it happen. Perfect partners that you've ever known. At Filipino Homes, are exceptional. Filipino Homes, professional. Filipino Homes, a place to call your home. Filipino Homes, always feels like home. Filipino Homes.
Okay, so we are back with our discussion today for COVID-19 webinar. Okay, so as you can see, while we are having our vacation in our house, okay, in our home, okay, so Filipino Homes remain to be at the forefront in engaging our real estate professionals on how to address the present crisis with our weekly webinar. Okay, so our weekly webinar is called React. Okay, so real estate amidst the COVID threat. Okay, so Saiza.
All right. Yes, boss. Welcome back. And I just wanted to say we are 447 strong today. So we have
Wow.
447 attendees right now in our chat room and watching this live webinar. Okay, so I'll start to ask. Let's start the question once again. Sir Joe and Mama Rose, for the new agents, do you have a suggested plan of action? Those, most especially those who are affected by the COVID-19 outbreak.
Okay. Well, before I pass this on to Marost, I just also want to say that we checked on our available inventories, and we still have about 22 projects, both the horizontal and vertical, that would have an amount something like 13 to 14 billion pesos that's available in the market right now. And, some of these are completed homes or units, or some are, of course, under construction. Now, the other thing that when things normalize, we are looking at 15 new projects to be launched in the next 6 months. By the time and that should add to something like 30 billion pesos worth of inventory for our market, and also basically to be handled by our brokers and agents. And we feel that this is not the time to slow down. This is the time that in the midst of these difficulties, we look at opportunities very well. Because this thing will come to pass. In fact, this will make us a lot better moving forward. And I'm sure this early, all of our medical scientists and all are now anticipating on what or how to handle future situations like this. We will be able to become a much better global community, not just working independently, but working together. So this is really the time to think about what we plan to do, not just over the existing projects and inventories that we have, but also on what lies ahead. That's why we in Cebu Landmasters are really looking at the time when things are all back to work and normal, and we will be the first company off the block because we have lined this up, no? And I'm sure the rest of the players in the industry are feeling the same way because there is a real demand that is waiting out there, and this industry is there very strongly to really meet all of this real demand from our people. And the same goes for our BPO industries. The same goes with our hotel industry because I'm sure a lot of these people out there are inching up, are already waiting to travel. No? So, and I'm sure bookings will be just going to skyrocket immediately with all that interest that will come all around. After all, we've been here in our homes for the past 2-3 weeks, and we're already waiting for things to move even much better. So Maros, I'll on to
Okay, Boss Maros.
share also with our bookers.
Yeah. So the sales team have come up with new guidelines on how we can work closely together online. Okay. So as I said earlier, the sales team is ready to work with you, to give you the inventory and all the assistance needed, and everything can be done online from inquiries to reservations, submission of the required documents via email, and payments via online can be done. And we will acknowledge with a copy of the deposit slip, the reservation, until the processing also of your commissions, and initially the incentives, the advance incentives. So, Rose, are you online?
Yeah.
Rose, are you?
Good morning. I'm here.
So
Maybe I can
we're
ask Rose.
yeah, we're so excited that we have the Vice President for Sales, Boss Maros. So you're also with us, so we're happy, and we're happy the whole management team are here. Okay, so we're excited. So we'd like to welcome you in our discussion, Boss Rose Yulo.
Yes, good morning, boss. This is such a privilege for us, no? And together with my bosses, definitely we are here to support you and your team as we go through this crisis, no? Definitely, this is temporary, as Sir Joe mentioned earlier, but what we should look at it as an opportunity because life has to go on. Everybody has to work, everybody has to earn so we can put food on our table. So from the sales team, I was truly inspired, no, because I joined your webinar last Friday, and focus was definitely on the shift to go digital. So after that webinar, I pushed the team so hard so that we can also keep up with the demand, no, and be at the forefront because we want to be together with you. We want to support you so that we can all work together and get through this crisis together. So basically, we provided Boss Saiza some slides already. If we can have it on screen so we can discuss. The requirements, no? The requirements will remain the same. Basically, it is the scheduled submission of the requirements that we have made easier, cognizant, of course, of some of the challenges, no? We are currently facing. So basically, this is our big shout out to all. We have shifted operations online and we are going digital. CLI is now very strong digitally through reservations, inquiries, inventories, and of course, submissions of requirements. No, basically, what we are doing is making things more convenient and easy for our sellers and buyers. We have already, the sales team has already consistently been posting all our project details, price lists, inventories, and of course our promo, no? But we wanted to go a step further to make it easier by making it accessible to you online, no? So these are, wait, huh? These are the contact details of all the sales personnel. As you can see on screen, you already have the email addresses and cell phone numbers of all sales contacts in Cebu, Davao, Cagayan, Bacolod, and Iloilo. So it's easy for you to stay in touch with all of us. Now, this is the exciting part: how to reserve a unit online during the enhanced community quarantine period. Let's go through it one by one. Basically, we are online. CLI is here for you Monday to Friday from 8:30 in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening. And we can even go further if you have inquiries. Please do not be afraid or do not hesitate to reaching to us, because we will address your concerns. No? Now, this is very important. What we are going to ask from you through email is the completely filled up and signed buyer's information sheet. Please, the buyer's information sheet is a two-sided document. It's not enough to fill up the front. Please fill up the back and ensure that the buyer's signature is there, present, because that is a confirmation that all the entries on the BIS is true and correct. And we're going to ask also two IDs of the buyers. So basically that, okay? The buyer's information sheet filled out and signed, and two IDs. From there, we are going to provide you the term sheet, the reservation agreement, and the bank details, the specific bank details to the project that you are interested in. Next step, you can pay your reservation fee online. You can do online transaction. We're going to request, of course, a copy of the deposit slip or confirmation from the bank that the online transmission is successful. Okay? And then we're going to ask as well the signed term sheet. Your buyers can always sign it from their homes. Just take a picture, send it back to us, and the signed reservation agreement. That is basically it. Okay? The tax identification number, the most popular and famous requirement that all of you are going to ask. We are going to still collect that, but we're going to ask for this now when things have improved. Operations are back to normal. So the tax identification number, together with the post-dated checks and the contract, will be collected by the sales team when things are back to normal. Please, my bosses friends, okay, we need to work together and make our relationship stronger in the completion of the requirements. So can I have a big support from all of you and commitment that when things are back to normal, you will be with us in the collection of the requirement. The tax identification is very important to us, no? As I'm sure it's well important to you, no? So please help us try to get this from our buyers, no? Also together with the PDCs, because the submission of the PDCs will actually make life easier for you, because we do not need to chase you monthly for the equity payments of our buyers. Okay, basically those are the 6 steps, and you can reserve already online.
Wow, that was so amazing, responding to the call of the agent. So imagine a developer is adjusting to the call of the agents. That's extraordinary. And I would like to commend Cebu Landmaster for really being on top of the game. And that's the reason why you're the #1 developer, because you've been helping so many agents in the country. So a round of applause to Boss Joe and Boss Maros. In fact, you can see in the comment section, they are so happy and they can now sleep. Okay, so you can see so many people are saying, "Wow, I'm very happy. Thank you very much." And this is it. This is how we're gonna really support a developer. As you can see, I've been telling a lot of my team that mostly of the leaders that why are we supporting Cebu Landmaster all the way? Because they're even adjusting the call to the agents today. If they want online reservation, then they can just adjust. If they want their checks very fast, they can just adjust. And I'm very happy for Cebu Landmaster. But boss, we are already almost 1 hour. Imagine discussing this, and we get so many questions still on track. Okay, so we are already done with the. So is Osma Rose Yulo here?
Yeah, she's
Yes,
still
I'm
here.
here, boss.
Yeah. So do you still have some parting message to all the agents on requirements so we can proceed with our guest speaker?
Well, actually, I just like to say thank you so much for all the bosses partners that we have, no? Despite the crisis and the initial anxiety of the whole situation, no, we were still able to close sales through Luterio Realty. Thank you so much for your unfailing, unwavering support for CLI. Definitely, we are stepping up also, and we're going to be here for you. We're going to get through this together. And while there may be some things that we need to improve on, but definitely the willingness to improve will always be there. So thank you so much, and looking forward to closing many sales with you as we move forward. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Boss Rose Yulo, for interrupting our discussion on the most exciting topic, which is our commissions and incentives. So we're happy with that. Okay, so much from the commission because we want to know the health of the industry today. So Saisa, thank you very much, Boss Rose Yulo. We're so happy that you're there. Our agents, almost 500 attendees today, are so eager to listen from you, and they are so happy that you answered the call of our situation today. So
Thank you.
okay. Let's proceed, Boss Saisa. So we'd like to welcome a lot of team leaders here. Boss Joe, Boss Maros, all the team leaders are here of Cebu Landmasters and Filipino Homes. Okay, so they are here and they already sent in the comment. It is very nice. It's great news, and we're happy with and in fact. Wow, from Gilbert Monicilio, forever love CLI. Okay, so then we have from Manfred Lawas, Chris, Azela is here, and so many. Mirsa from America, USA, from New York. Okay, so is here also. The team in Davao, okay, Joanne, okay, Michelle, Daklan, Manila. Okay, so we have so many from Bacolod, Leyte, Samar, Dumaguete. We have Cagayan, Butuan, Jensen, Manila, Iloilo. Oh my God! So nationwide. Okay, so Boss Joe, I hope you're enjoying this discussion. So yeah, so we still have some questions for you, and they are really waiting for the answer for that. So, Boss Saisa.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Boston. Now we have a question here, Sir Joe. Um, this is a question from Sir Chris Malazarte. What is the overall sentiment of the developers? What do you think are the adjustments to be made in the aftermath of the COVID?
I think the general sentiment would still be the hope that this will not become a prolonged situation, no? Because we're eager to go back to normal times because there's so much things waiting for us out there. There are construction works that needs to move on. There are malls that needs to be reopened, hotels to accommodate tourists, no? BPO buildings that are in the process of fit outs and to accommodate more tenants, retail leases awaiting. We are in a somewhat standstill situation, but we all know that these are temporary, no, and that we do realize that after every difficulty, the sun will come shining, and we do feel that the the overall sentiment of this quarter will be a negative growth, no? But we feel that things will catch up very fast. No? We feel that the the market favors also us pushing for project because the demand remains to be strong. We are still a very consumer-led market, and at the same time, we really have to look at boosting more of our tourism as well. And we can see that inflation rate is down, and it leads to interest rate having flattened or even have even lowered in a bit. Now, this is going to be a real incentive, not just for developers, but even to the market that they're addressing. So we're just really waiting, and but while we are doing so, I think all of us in the real estate industry are gearing up. We are not stopping to prepare ourselves for normal times. Mean to say, if we have a project, for example, that still awaits a development permit, we want to make sure all the plans are in place. You know, all the details are already being completed, so that by the time things are open, all you needed to do is submit it. In fact, there are also government agencies that accept plans for because they have nothing to do, so they might as well accept, and then they will have it reviewed so that they can act faster when things normalize. So while we are really on this situation, Chris, no, as you asked this, the developers should also be in that mode of having to go away from your comfort zone. No? This is the time when you will have to go into your creative zone. No? How do you now make sure that all your projects will have a different touch into it, so that it also looks back at the learnings that we are having now? You know, I mentioned about amenity enforcement, adding medical facilities for different developments. That's a good idea. We also have to be very positive about the future, because even if you say that a lot of our OFWs may have to come back, that might not be that long, because a lot of these countries who are also reeling back from all the economic backlash, no, will have to make sure that they are able to back up. They also have to make sure that they cut on their operating costs. And what more to address that by going outsourcing again, no? And we are always in the forefront in the BPO industry. We're always the target in Manila, in Cebu, and other business cities, or even in Clark. So I would say that we should be one in putting our acts together, but I think priorities have to be priorities. Right now, we just need to really flatten the cord of this virus, no? And we just have to cooperate very well with our government. No, this is a global situation, and we are all connected. By the way, no, we have the same issue, and at no time in our history are people really linking hands, no, working together, and we should extend all cooperation, because the light at the end of the tunnel is just around the corner.
Yeah.
Very, very hard.
Well, talking about prayer, Tonton was talking about that, no, about communication and conversing to the good Lord, and this is the best time to do so. No, I think that's what the good Lord is also telling us. Step back a bit. No, this is the Holy Week anyway. Today is Holy Monday. No, and this is time to be there's no social distancing when it comes to prayers. You have to communicate very well. Of course, we're not social distancing with Maros, but I guess because I think that's part of what we should do. If I recall, the priest tell me that we should be able to carry our cross and embrace our cross. And she's beside me right now. Okay. Just kidding.
Okay, thank you so much for addressing that, Sir Joe. Now we have another question from Boss Denise Manubag. Hello, boss. Will you now accept credit card payments as part of the monthly payments instead of PDCs? Because I have foreign
Unfortunately,
clients. Yeah, go ahead, boss.
as of this time, we can only do credit cards, but it has to be manually done. It cannot just be done online as of now. The credit card companies are still processing our application for an online credit card facility. So it's not yet possible. What facility that we'd like to bring back to the ADA, the automatic debit arrangement to the bank, that we can open up. But
Ah, I
for
see.
credit cards, not yet. We will only accept remittances for the first initially. Hopefully, after the ECQ, we will have the online credit cards already be ready, be available. I hope that will be available by then.
Thank you, boss. That is quite a good news for us as well, because we also have clients from outside of the country who would wish to use their credit cards instead of PDCs, most especially for the monthly payments. So, thank you for addressing that, Mama Rose. We have another question here. This is actually about the property management. This is from Boss Mirza. How will you manage with after sales, even to the delivery? Because I have a lot of buyers from Casa Mirali now who has been worried with their property management. They have a problem on their water distribution, even if not all houses are being occupied. How much more daw if ma-occupied na tanan? Um, so that's the concern of Boss Mirza. Yes, sir, Joe.
Okay, let me address that. We do realize that with our operating deep well, no, with of course with the water tank, it may not be enough as you ask more of the residents who will be accepting their units. But they are also mindful that there is a second deep well, no, that we are doing, and I think that will add to the water supply in the area. And even while we are doing that, we are now talking to a third party water provider. We have very serious talks about it, especially that we are facing the summer months. Yeah. And we want to make sure that all the residents have ample water supply. I don't think that we will allow it that people will be facing this problem, no? And precisely because of the situation that we in Cebu Landmasters are property managing all our developments, uh, and that we are still on top of our water supply is because we make it an important facet of our operations. No? We are not going to turn over the water system to the residents association, but it will remain with the developer. And we would like to continue with that because it would have been very uh, easy to just say, okay, we have turned over the project and you handle the water issue. No, we're even telling everybody that the water system will still rest on the developer side. And we will make sure that even if there will be repairs that's needed on the water system, we will be addressing them and much more on the water supply.
Thank you so much for that, Sir Joe. So I hope that answer is good for those who have clients at Casimir Linaw, and of course for those um, projects that are already turned over by CLI.
Uh,
Now we
let me just mention again about the importance of property management now. At no time uh, in our experience with real estate that we feel that property management should be enhanced to a real extent, no? Because we're in a situation like this, and it could be in any other situation that we need to provide not just the manpower support, but we would like to have that connection with all the residents. No? Even right now, while we had all this scare, all our people are mobilized there. Not one of our property managers uh, are resting. We have a full complement on the site, no? And these are basically our security guards, our maintenance people, and team who are not even taking a rest. And because this is allowable, no? We want to make sure that all our residents are taken care of and addressing their needs and making sure that we also adhere to the policies of the local government. No? When you say that we are on a lockdown or we're not supposed to go out, we make things very restrictive as well. No? That even our swimming pool cannot be utilized. No? Functions are not to be held. No? We we also impose curfew hours, by the way, because these are all provided by the guidelines of our ECQs, no? And we have to abide with that very strictly because this is always for the benefit of all our residents. Now, situations can differ in the future, but that is where and how important property management is. And have always been telling this to everybody, and that's probably where Cebu Landmasters is going to arm itself some more to strengthen our property management team as we move forward for all our developments.
Thank you so much for that, Sir Joe. Now we have one. This would probably be the last question we have for right now. Are we expecting a delay in our turnover?
We are going to minimize as much as possible the impact. That's why we managed to uh, get special permits if it is justifiable for our contractors to move on projects, no, and because the contractors themselves have have core workers that they provided some housing and even facilities right there inside the project sites, and whenever it is allowable and permitted by the local government, and as long as we make sure all the health issues are being addressed, no, then things are working. No? It may not be the full force. We did mention about the 50 to 60% uh, work that we are still having right now. But looking at how this curves out in the timetable, you know, while we have a dip right now in terms of completion, if this will last for another month or so, then we have said there's been a 2 month up. And the way to address that is to catch up. And that's where you try to double time and catch up with your original schedule. So for so long as we realize that there are going to be some gaps to be filled up, we need to move that as fast as we can so that we could again catch up with the schedule of what we're doing.
Mhm. Thank you, Boss Joe. Now, pinaka-last na gid ni. We have one question here from Boss Mirza. Was the equity holiday being approved?
Well, the equity is different from uh, a financing, no, or an in-house financing, because that's governed by law that there are supposed to be certain moratoriums. You know for a fact that Cebu Landmasters doesn't do any in-house financing. Now, why are we encouraging people to continue with their equity? It's because uh, that's where you try to make sure that you are able to meet your payments such that when the time comes that you're ready to pay, I mean when the units are ready for turnover, the sooner you could move in. No, and to me this is the best time with your resources that are already being programmed. This is the best time to do some kind of forced savings, because this is not a payment of a debt that you take into equity. It is your money. No? Rather than having to spend it somewhere else, you're trying to make sure that you're meeting the obligations of the payment. No? That's an investment on your side. And the sooner you're able to complete your equity payment, under this low interest rate scenario, the sooner that you can avail financing from your bank or from pag-ibig, no, when you will be able to, when you are now accepting your units. So when moratoriums are always being asked, you know, and they are provided by law, but this thing about equity, we'd rather encourage our buyers, no, your buyers from our sellers or brokers to continue religiously meeting your equity payments.
Yeah, but we are mindful to those buyers of ours who have major concerns on health, on employment. We are accommodating the special request for an extension of payment. Okay, so this is only on paper request basis. And I think everybody is aware of this, but we just have to take it from there. And maybe for the information of our partner brokers here, we did receive requests, but it's not a big percentage. So it just shows that people are still able and willing to continue with paying their equity amortization.
And
so
you know
others-
our equity amortizations are covered by post-dated checks. We know that, no? And all of these are now warehoused with our banks, and sometimes we have some requests that said that okay, can I hold my April post-dated check? But normally the bank cannot just put it out. You need to have a special review. It was a very extraordinary request. We cannot pull the April or hold the April or even a March payment. We move for the next month. So we are, as Maros was saying, we're mindful naman if there are certain situations, and of course, we don't levy any interest or penalty charges for that.
That's good. So
We-
at least Yeah, that's good, boss, because that is the major concern now. If there are some of the buyers, but I know this is only few buyers because they're really interested to purchase properties. But at least now we understand that Cebu Landmaster is so sensitive on that, and who also take cares with our buyers who are already have a problems in their health and people who are jobless today. So they just sent a letter to Cebu Landmaster, correct?
Correct.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I just send a letter to Rose
Yes.
and her team, and then they will address it immediately. As long
So
as you give us the 7 day, 7 calendar days or banking days,
Period.
because the bank requires 5, and we need to process and advise them. So we're saying about just give us about 7 days, 6, 7 days, and we should be able to pull out the check.
So we will communicate with the sales team. So is Boss Maros Yulo over there? So Boss Maros Yulo, are you listening to us with this discussion?
Yes, boss.
So can you please, I want to hear from you because you're partnering with these agents and they want to hear from you on how we're going to go with this process, since Boss Maros Soberano already confirmed that they are so sensitive and they really want to help those who are jobless.
Okay, boss. Basically,
Yeah.
no, we have already been helping. No, we have been working with our sellers and even with our buyers directly. But please, no verbal requests. All of this has to be put in writing, sent to
Okay.
us through email, and then we will work with you on a proper schedule, which is
Okay.
both win-win, no, for the buyers and also for CLI. We'll try to see
Okay.
how we can manage it that it's not too long. We will try to move on a 30-day period. We will see
Okay.
also the condition of the buyer, no, because there are certain considerations here, no. There is really loss of employment, and there is also where it's just a temporary halt of operations for that particular buyer, no. So
Okay.
basically, we will attend to the concerns and the requests as they come on a case-to-case basis.
Okay, that's great. So thank you very much for that good news, and I hope all of our attendees, our super sales team, sales agents are really one. I mean, accepting the call to their to all of their buyers that we are considering everything.
Definitely,
So
boss.
let's proceed. Yeah, thank you very much. Let's proceed. Saisa?
Yes, boss. We have okay. So basically, we are actually almost done with the webinar. We would just like to ask for a message of hope for our real estate agents, Sir Joe and Mama Rose, and also Mom Rose, Yulo, in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic.
Oh, okay. I really want to thank Boss Tonton and of, and our Filipino Homes team, no, and all our participants now for this time that we are able to share what in the midst of the difficulties that we are facing, no? And that it only goes to show that we are really connected with each other, and that we're one family, and this is a family that is looking forward. Despite the situation, we still manage our way to make sure that we remain connected and looking at the opportunities at hand. As we all know, these are temporary situations that we're facing, and nothing in this world anyway is permanent. Especially our troubles. By tomorrow, they will all be gone and we're back to normal in doing what we need to do. But in the midst of this temporary difficulty, we need to put our efforts together. No, we need extraordinary effort because we do have our clients, we do have our buyers to also meet up. No, we have different publics to consider. Even in Cebu Landmasters, we're not just looking at our buyers, but our residents as well. We're not looking at our suppliers, but also our contractors as well. No? And we have a bigger public also to look at in terms of the community that we are in. That's why we extend as much help as we could. No? While we make sure that we are addressing what we need to do as a real estate company that are conscious of our responsibilities. This is the time for prayer and communication, as we're doing now. Even as we work, it's really a way of praying and reaching out to our Lord. And we hope that this Holy Week will be the time for everybody for reflection and real strong meditation. No? And we all know that after the passion and the suffering, there is always the glorious resurrection. And that's the way I also perceive these difficulties that we are facing right now, that all the trials and tribulations will be rewarded, you know, with the goodwill that the good Lord will be extended to all of us. Thank you very much.
So Filipino Homes partners, thank you so much for giving us this occasion to be with you for the past hour, and be assured of our prayers for your family and for everybody in our community. And keep safe and remain healthy. Okay, so trust in the Lord. Let's pray and give time to our God Almighty, and be close to Him and be part of this memorial that we will be experiencing this Holy Week. So take care, everybody. Salamat kayo.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Boss Joe and Mama Rose. Mom Rose, Yulo, do you have any message of hope for our agents?
Well, yes, no, thanks again for the invitation. We are very much humbled to be with you on this first webinar with the developers. No, definitely, we are going to get through this together. It is the brotherhood of humanity that is challenged now, and as one, we are going to face it and we're going to succeed. Of course, armed with prayers and faith and trust in God. So, going back, the sales team of Cebu Landmasters will always be here for you. Let's work through this together. If there are any things that are unclear, please feel free to get through to us through our group chats. No, we will try to address all the concerns so that we move forward with our sales through this COVID period successfully. Thank you again to everyone.
Okay. So anyway, we are so hopeful and we are so happy, Boss Joe. In fact, I would like to especially thank you for. I just read the newspaper last 2 weeks ago that you are helping 5,000 construction workers during this pandemic. Is that correct, Boss Joe?
Yes, yes. The more we could be of help, really the better for us.
Yeah.
It's the time to help them.
Yeah, so we're happy about the news because you're the first developer that to answer the call to really help the society, and I know you have so many already charity works doing left and right with some of your friends, your organization, and do you have any message on that? So for everybody to have a bayanihan approach today.
Yes, I mean, the first thing really is, okay, we need to help ourselves, make sure that we are all safe. That's why the first thing is stay at home, because that's how we take this and win this fight by not spreading it. Now, if you are able to help, there's so many ways of doing that. No? The first thing is not to contaminate your neighbor or anybody else, and we just have to cooperate with the authorities. But if you are in a position to help, there are so many avenues. No, your community, your local government, even within your neighborhood, no, that you will probably find people who probably are short on certain supplies, and we always have that bayanihan spirit anyway. No, mga silingan, you can always provide some extra food that you have on your table, and they would welcome that. There's so many ways, even on the barangay level, safety gadgets, from masks to disinfectants and all that. So we have a role to play, all of us. But again, this is not the time for our comfort zone, but maybe for our creative and charitable zones to be extended to the people.
Correct. So in these trying times, we need to help each other. And I would like to also thank the Filipino Homes Cares Group. Okay, so the warriors that are helping the country today. And you can see in my posting, everybody are helping left and right, a little of this, a little of that. But this is the best time to show hope and to show sentiment to all of our community that we are one. We are one Filipino, and we can stand with this COVID threat. Okay, so I hope that everybody are enlightened, and we're so happy with the good news from Cebu Landmaster. Thank you very much, Boss Maros and Boss Joe. Okay, so we love Cebu Landmaster, you know that. And
To the next webinar.
yes, we'll do this one. And
Boss.
Yes, boss.
Boston, if I can add one more thing lang, no? We actually discussed this earlier. Maybe we can look into PKS through this webinar.
Sure.
Schedule it.
Next week. After.
Schedule, and we can do PKS of CLI projects.
Yes, all projects. Wow. We can do this. Yeah. So we're happy with the new developments. I know this is one part of how we can connect and in this unusual time, and accepting, adapting change, and this is the way to go to the future. Okay, so we're happy with that, and we know that all of you there watching, listening, you are enlightened by the good news of Cebu Landmaster. So in behalf of the Filipino Homes team, Boss Joe and Boss Maros, we're so happy. In fact, from our family, my wife May extend a warm greetings to you. Hello, and May is watching. Okay, May Ann, my kids, Vanessa, Bral is there. Kaika is listening, and to all of the teams. Okay, guys, we love you. Keep in touch. Always pray, because by praying there is always hope. And thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you very much, Boss Isa, Boss Maros, Yulo. Okay, thank you very much. And we are already 1 hour and 30 minutes. I can't imagine this webinar. Okay, so it's gonna be more exciting. And if you have some good news, Boss Joe and Boss Maros, Soberano, so please we'll be back here.
See that. Yes.
Sure, we'll be in touch.
We'll be in touch. Yes.
And to the Cebu Landmasters. Okay, so thank you very much for your support to the skeletal forces. Okay, to Jamie, to the kids of the Soberano family. Okay, thank you very much for praying to be united as one. Thank you. God bless and more power. Take it away, Saiza.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Please wait for the replay. By the way, we'll be sending it to your emails.
Yeah, we have a replay with this one.
Yeah.
to make your dreams come true. What we do is all for you.
Cebu Landmasters, we build with you in mind. Cebu Landmasters, you can live the better life. We're at the heart of everything we do with you. Cebu Landmasters, we build with you in mind. One slice, reach your face to face. Welcome hands, guide you at every stage. We want to see your dreams come true. What we do is all for you. Cebu Landmasters, we build with you in mind. Cebu Landmasters, you can live the better life. We're at the heart of everything we do with you. Cebu Landmasters, we build with you in mind. At the heart of everything we do with you. Cebu Landmasters, we build with you in mind.
You dream of a lifetime, and now is the right time with Filipino Homes. Filipino Homes, you truly deserve it, and you finally made it a home of your own here at Filipino Homes. At Filipino Homes, we're here to serve you. At Filipino Homes, we'll make your dream come true.